Welcome to Unprofessional Therapy. Did I just cut you off?
Yeah, you did. I thought I was supposed to open. Okay,
Yes.
no problem.
Go ahead, open.
Hi, welcome to Unprofessional Therapy. I'm Brad.
I'm Michael.
We don't have degrees, just decades.
Just decades of experience.
But making videos, we're clueless.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, man. So today, I'm going to talk about why, an effect that burnout has, and I feel like a failure. Because I'm burnt out, I feel like a failure. I'm a little less burned out now, but still burned out.
Okay, all right.
And what are we talking about with you? What do you want to talk about?
I'm thinking about, and this kind of ties in with it, as the topics sometimes do. I want to talk about imposter syndrome. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
you don't? I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You are correct. I do.
But we'll talk just a little bit about that. It'll be a light discussion-ish about that. So yeah, there you go.
It's easy stuff. Just nothing. No big deal.
Nothing too serious.
So this burnout. I mean, everybody's been talking about burnout for I don't know how long. I've been too bored to think about it. I'm too burnt out. But because you see all the YouTubers, they burned out. I mean, there was like a whole wave of it happening a few years ago, but I'm burned out, and you'll still see it. And you and I will have to have that burnout video. I don't know, in the next couple of years. But I'm actually not burned out about making the videos. This is actually therapeutic for me. It's unprofessionally therapeutic for me. But in my job, and I've only been programming for 30 years.
Okay.
I'm burned out.
Done by now.
Yeah,
I guess you're talk about one program you're working on.
We'll get into your topic afterwards. But I am burned out because I think it's because I'm too close to retirement. I'm getting senioritis.
Oh, okay, all right.
This makes me feel like senioritis to me because it's like I just don't want to do it anymore, but I have to because I don't have the money to retire.
Okay.
So
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this was on my notes for somewhere to talk about, but I'm just going to bring it up now, and I'm going to ask you. So, like, when do you do the hard work? People talk about burnout and act as though they shouldn't have to work anymore, or they're done, or they've already done the hard things. But I think to achieve anything, you have to sacrifice, you have to do hard things to get there.
Usually.
Following me so far? Okay, so do you feel like you have already put those in, or do you feel like the hard times are still coming? Does that make sense?
Both.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've done it, because I have. I mean, there's been many projects I've worked on that I've busted my butt on. Some of them were successful, some of them were not.
Okay.
And I just feel that I'm just done. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play anymore. I want to take my ball and go home.
So then I've got so many questions for you.
Yeah.
So then, what is it? A general burnout, or is it a specific burnout with regards to certain situations?
It's a burnout with the rat race.
Okay.
That's what I'm burned out with. Programming, because of AI, has actually invigorated me on programming, but I want to do that without the overhang of you need to make money.
Okay.
I want to just write some code and see what I can play with.
That is perfect for me, just because that was how I did in school. When I was in school, horrible student, terrible. We talked about all that stuff. We talked about
I can attest to that, yes.
And other underlying problems. But when they took the restraints off, when I got to doing classes outside of school, when I got to college, and the restraint was there and nobody cared whether I showed up or not, I flourished. A's and B's. I did great. I did wonderful. Passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
Something about that was just, I burned out.
It was freeing.
It
But
was, and I
you are
knew.
used.
Yeah,
So you were burned out with the rat race of high school.
yeah. Let's start with elementary school. Actually, let's begin
Started
with the credit cards.
when I was in kindergarten. That first day, I was done.
Pretty much, and ironically, yes, I actually was, but only because the worst thing that I got dropped off in front of a school that nobody went with me, by myself. Usually, a parent takes their kid the first day.
Right.
I got picked up out in the woods where we lived, out in a rural area, dropped off in front of the wrong school, left. I don't know if you remember this, and I probably shouldn't be taking down a personal thing, but anyhow, so I got dropped off at our grade school.
Mm-hmm.
I got dropped off in front there, just looking up at this building like,
what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do? I was supposed to be dropped. The kindergarten was a separate building, a separate location.
That's right.
I got dropped off at the grade school and just like traumatized.
And Jesus, I could tell. Yeah, that would traumatize. They talk about Gen Xers just being able to deal with it. That's why.
Yeah, I had no choice.
Shit like that, pardon my French, shit like that makes you resilient.
Yeah, you either learn, you adapt or die. That's for sure. So anyhow,
holy
burnout from an early age. So I started my education career off on the wrong foot, just right from the beginning and stuff.
Big time.
Another story for another time. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no. I totally really not the kindergarten part, but the high school part. That is totally how I feel now. Now, when we were in high school, I had senioritis. Oh yeah, I'm like, I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to go to college. College was very freeing for me too in multiple ways.
Yeah.
I purposely went to the college I went to because no one else from our school went.
Nice.
Kind of like I got dropped off in front of a building, except I was a little more mature than a kindergartner.
Probably a little more prepared for it than, say, a 5-year-old.
Maybe. No, I was. Because, orientation in colleges happen.
Right.
Anyway, so no, but I am definitely now in the senioritis, and I'm not even, I'm not old enough to retire, but I'm like, Can I please can my bank account please catch up with my dreams, please, anytime now?
You've put the work in that time period, even if you're...
I feel like I have.
Okay.
I mean, now you may talk to my sister and she may have a different opinion, because being self-employed, a lot of people thought that I was just being lazy and da. Being self-employed, you can't be lazy.
Yeah, you can't. And that's something
you know that for a fact.
For a fact, you can't. People think that owning a business or being in a position of power and stuff, it's easy street and stuff. They don't realize you have to work twice as hard, and there's nobody else to blame when things go wrong, and there's nobody else. You don't get the credit when it goes right.
There's no consistent income.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh man.
You could have, and I'm screaming to the choir. You could have a great month, and then a shit month, and then an okay month, and then back to shit, and maybe another. It is just so.
It's a roller coaster
all over.
Yeah,
it is crazy until you have, a very well established system. That's the ride you're on.
Right.
It is a roller coaster.
So I think you brought up something.
I did the work.
You brought up something there that's good, though, is the idea of building systems. Because my next question for you, though, is what are you going to do about it? If you are burned out, do you have any suggestions? Have you found any workarounds? Have you found anything to make life a little better?
AI is helping only because it gives me ideas of things to write code. Because of the facilities we've lost for recording the videos, I'm going to try to make something.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. And here's the thing: is in the last several programs I've written, I'm not writing for anybody but me.
Makes a difference.
Yeah. I got a new graphics card for my computer so that we could actually do this, because I have a Linux machine, and without it, Discord video didn't work. So I got that, but I built my own GPU monitor system app, so I can see the temperature. I can see everything that GPU will tell me. So, and I built it because I'm like, is there a good version of anything? No, there's nothing out there. I'm like, okay, build one, and I built one. But it doesn't work on anybody else's computer but mine.
So
I'm like, I don't care because
that's okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, it runs like another app. All these kinds of apps like this are free anyway, and if someone wanted me to, I might make it because it wouldn't be that hard. I'd then just talk to Claude and say, make this so it works on other computers, other Linux computers. But I'm just making apps for me. I'm not trying to make so like let's say we make this nice little app and people are like, wow, what's that app you're using? It's like, you can't have it because the work to go from what I need for me to what everybody else needs is monumentous.
Okay.
It is, it's like, oh, now I got to create a UI. Now I got to expect people to break it. Now I got to, because if I give it to you, once I've used it, and if again, this is even something that I don't even know if I can get it done. But let's say I get it to work, I'm going to be using it at first to record the videos and send them off to you, and then send the app to you eventually so that you can do it all yourself.
Right.
But even giving it to you is, I run on Linux, you run on Windows. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But I would write it in a different in what's called Rust, which handles both. So how do I? That's how I fight my burnout.
Okay.
That's how I fight my burnout. Is I just do things for myself. I've got it's not here anymore, but the little model plane that you saw, I put together some model. I'm not even done. It's still barely put together. And I play my bass. You want me to play bass for you?
No, that's okay. We have a whole other topic to get through.
Okay. Anyway, so that's. I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing this one.
No, that's okay. But that's why I said. That's why I had questions on it. And just to clarify, you can actually. So it's interesting that you wouldn't do things to lighten your load. Simply doing a project just for you seems to be the key to getting back some of that energy, getting back some of that, whatever you want. Your I don't know. What's a good word for it? I don't know.
Get my mojo back.
Your mojo. There you go. That's where you're getting some of that back by doing work for you. Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, that's it. That is what it's like. But a lot of times in my entire career, and I can't even tell you, again, I've been doing this programming for 30 years. I still feel like I don't belong as a programmer. Calling myself a programmer I still cringe, even though I've done it for almost 30 years.
That seems to segue right into the next topic.
Oh my God, how did I do that?
It's just amazing and practice, I guess. That must be what it is. So let's talk about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's a thing. And I mean, they tell you generally.
I'm flat out ask you this.
Yeah.
You do magic cards. You sell them on. Yeah. And that's again your hobby.
Yeah.
You do. So you've been playing Magic for like 732 years.
At least.
You do content. So you're a content creator, and this is one of your channels. You have your own channel.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like a fake?
Because every now and then I will get a comment, and it's funny how the negative comments are the ones that stick with you. I'll get a comment, or I will compare my success to other people's. And I know I can look on your face already. This is something I learned earlier this year. The phrase that I've learned is comparison is the thief of happiness. Okay, so we should get that out of the way right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. So aside from that, I still don't feel like an authority on anything. I've put the 10,000 hours in on numerous things.
More than that.
At least 10,000
just this week.
It feels like that sometimes. I guess that was a burnout. That was one before. But but I still don't feel like it. But a portion of that is wanting to do better. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. But I'm going to ask you, like, what does your imposter syndrome feel like?
Strange,
Yeah.
because I know I'm not a bad programmer. I know I'm not an ace programmer. There's no way. Because the ace programmers are the people working for the cloud computing, in the LLMs and doing all that. Those guys are freaking way over my head. But because I've been in other teams that have had a mix of people who are educated, not educated, because I'm self-educated programmer. I've taught everything myself.
I was going to ask you
And
about that.
that right there is part of the imposter syndrome, because I'm self-taught and I don't have that confidence, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the exact way. I hear all the time where people are being asked in interviews about specific algorithms, or how would you, or a sorting algorithm, and they talk about these specific kinds. It's like, I have no idea what they're talking about. But that's something you're taught day one in computer science.
Okay.
Never took it. And
Interesting.
then, and so I would fail that immediately.
Do you feel that makes things better or worse? Because I'm of the opinion, the general opinion, that I would rather be self-taught than be handed a certificate, because then you're able to cheat systems if you do that. But if you've built something on your own, you have to know that it works, and you have to make sure that it doesn't fail. You have to be.
Well, what is, if you're in computer science, you've had projects you had to do and you had to make them work, but they're also very templated and very basic. I doubt they're making you build your own ERP system, which is something I thought about trying with the AI, and I've gone back and forth on that. But no, I think that being self-taught is not bad. There are a lot of people in my situation that are doing better than I am. They're making big bucks, because maybe they learned better and they took a different route. I gave Amazon a crap ton of money for books back in the 90s. When they first opened, I was one of their first customers. So I bought a crap ton of books. I learned the hardest way I could possibly learn, by reading a book and typing. That is just, you couldn't copy paste.
Right.
If you missed a character wrong in programming, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work yet. It's broken. Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So you're right. That does have its scars. It's whatever it is. But I still feel like an imposter in a lot of situations, because if I go to, like, I don't know, any kind of programming conference or whatever, I feel like I'm out of place. I am afraid to talk to other programmers, because I don't know. I don't have the confidence in how I code, because I've never really been compared to others. Now, the job I have learned, I've got a lot of confidence now, because my old boss, okay, I'm going to put it this way. I'm a hack. He was a worse hack.
Okay.
Anyway. And my coworker has got a degree in computer science programming. He's worked on larger teams than I have, and I see the problem faster than he does, and I can fix it faster than he does. So that makes me feel good. Now you stick me in Microsoft, and I'm a little fish.
Gotcha.
So it's the imposter syndrome would be there. I don't know. I'm rambling. You talk.
Well, so it's interesting to hear that, and how imposter syndrome affects people the same across a wide spectrum of any number.
I think everybody has it.
I think everybody. I think anybody that's worth actually doing something, or maybe listening to, has that, because it seems to be the people that are the brashest and the boldest and the most confident usually have the least. I
think they hide it.
Yes, and they're hiding behind that often. It was interesting.
No, I think they hide that they're imposters. I think they hide that the imposter syndrome. They just bury it within themselves.
Maybe, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of working in the photo lab for a number of years, as I did. I saw the photographers that charged the most and had some of the largest accounts and were the worst photographers, but they knew marketing and so
Yeah.
on. And so they knew how to sell themselves. The people that felt like imposters, that were unsure of what they were doing or voiced that opinion, often were the strongest and the best in their field. They didn't have those marketing skills, and I felt like I feel like that happens a lot. I just feel like that happens a lot, basically.
You just described me.
Yeah,
I don't have the marketing skills,
yeah. So
but I must be a freaking genius.
Well, I've seen the safety concerns and the things that you put as priorities with the things that you build. So I know that.
The safety concerns?
Yeah, you know.
What,
I'm not inviting anybody to hack your accounts, but I think they would have a mighty tough time getting through your security measures.
I kind of go overboard sometimes.
Well, you don't know until you find out. But yeah,
Well, here's here's my theory. It doesn't matter how far I go.
mm-hmm.
If a hacker wants in, they're gonna find some freaking way that I've never thought of.
Right.
You hear about the big AI models now, like the Fable 5. That they have Fable 5 playing against Fable 5. It'll hack, it'll fix, it'll hack, it'll fix, it'll hack, it'll fix. Cat and mouse all day long.
Yeah.
That's what hacking is. It's a cat and mouse. That's why my burnout comes back. Is like, I don't want to play that cat and mouse game. I just want to. That's the other thing. Is like, I don't want to make too many apps out there, and then somebody starts hacking the hell out of them. It's like, okay, well, source code's gone now.
Indeed. But
anyway.
I think when it comes down to the fact that you have imposter syndrome, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're asking the question, you probably aren't. You probably don't. You have enough humility and enough. I think that's really what it comes down to. If you're staying humble, you're always going to have that to a certain degree, and that's why I think that you're right. I think that everybody is going to have a certain amount of that, and whether it's necessary or not, if it drives you to work better, to work smarter and harder, then that's good. But if you do too much, you wind up
burn out
again. Exactly.
You have a point there. I know you want to end it, but I don't want to end it yet. You just kind of made a point to me, or I just put in my head, where I do think it is a specific kind of person that does feel like an imposter, but it's definitely a majority of the people in the world, because it's a mindset. It's like, okay, well, I want to be the best, but I know I can never be the best, because no matter what, there's always somebody better than you.
Right.
And then you're going to come up across with a guy that's like, oh, I'm the best. It's like, yeah, well, this guy down the road, I know he's better than you. So, cat and mouse. It's just that you never know. There might be some monk in Tibetan mountains that knows astrophysics better than Neil deGrasse Tyson, that can run circles around him.
Sure.
And deGrasse Tyson would be like, cool.
Yeah. That's someplace else I can learn from. That's
yeah, exactly. That's him. But anyway,
keep an open.
Anyway, sorry. Keep an open mind. Do we ever tell people that? Do we ever tell people to, like, just keep an open mind and self-reflect? No, we never do that.
No, we never mention that. I don't think anybody would get that from anything that we've said over the last however long we've been doing this. What have we been doing?
4 months.
4 months. All right. And
almost. Let's see. By the time this comes out, what's the date today? Yeah, it'll be 4 months. Actually, 4 months this week. This next episode is about our 4 month mark.
Wow, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people are sharing these. Hopefully somebody getting something out of it. What are they sharing? It's Unprofessional Therapy with your host Michael,
Brad,
and thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.